One in the sport of boxing. When it comes to legalized bank robbing, I'm the best. I don't care if y'all write good stories. I don't care if y'all write bad stories. You know, cash is king.
Do you have an ATM card?
I'm the human ATM.
How do you even get this much money? What do you do?
Work hard.
Floyd Mayweather has reportedly become the focus of a federal raid at one of his luxury mansions. But what really grabbed everyone's attention was not just the armed agents or the sealed search warrants. It was the confident way Mayweather reacted during what looked like a major federal investigation. Getting the money is not the problem, Harry. The problem is what you have to do to get it. Reports say that during the intense raid, Mayweather did not seem worried by the FBI's presence and even appeared to smile, which allegedly angered the senior FBI official at the scene. As the pressure grew, the moment turned into a heated verbal clash between the unbeaten boxing champion and the country's top investigative agency.
Getting the money is not the problem, Harry. What's the problem, for Christ's sake? We know them that to get it.
According to insiders and leaked footage from the scene, the FBI arrived at Mayweather's Las Vegas estate with armored vehicles and federal agents wearing tactical gear. The operation was carried out under a sealed warrant, showing that the investigation had likely been developing in secret for months or even years. Sources connected to the case claimed the raid was part of a larger investigation into possible financial misconduct, suspected tax evasion, and undisclosed offshore accounts linked to Mayweather's multi-million-dollar business empire. During the raid, federal agents reportedly found large amounts of cash along with confidential documents that allegedly connected the boxing star to several financial fraud schemes. People familiar with the investigation claimed the seized records included details of undisclosed offshore accounts, suspicious wire transfers, and possible links to questionable business ventures. The documents are now being reviewed by forensic accountants and federal prosecutors to determine how much involvement Mayweather may have had.
Come on down the table now. We rocking and rolling. You know, right there, you look at that. That's right there. Oh, they mad because I'm flashy, I'm flamboyant. So we count the paper on the table. We get things right where they can be. Things in perspective. So right now that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 500,000 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5.
Mayweather has often described his exhibition fights as legalized bank robbery, because they allow him to make huge amounts of money while taking very little risk. By facing less experienced opponents like YouTuber Logan Paul in non-competitive events, he uses his worldwide fame to bring in massive pay-per-view sales. Reports claim he earned between $50 and $100 million from the Logan Paul fight alone, even though the event was seen as entertainment rather than a real competitive boxing match. Mayweather's strategy is based on making smart business decisions instead of taking unnecessary risks, which helps him protect his undefeated record while earning huge amounts of money. This approach has started a wider debate about how much boxing has become a business, and whether the sport is putting entertainment ahead of true competitive integrity.
Operations here in this area along 28th and Division, both in Grand Rapids and Wyoming. This was a month-long investigation spanning from September to November. Thousands of dollars exchanged to make fake documents for people presumably in the United States illegally.
Floyd Mayweather has faced several legal disputes throughout his life. Speculation surrounding the death of Josie Harris, who was Mayweather's former girlfriend and the mother of 3 of his children, grew after reports claimed she was preparing a $25 million lawsuit against him over defamation and misconduct. Harris was found dead inside her car in 2020, and authorities ruled the cause as an accidental overdose. Since then, conspiracy theories have claimed that Mayweather may have been involved to avoid the expensive legal case. However, no evidence has ever confirmed any criminal involvement, and the timing along with the possible financial consequences continues to fuel rumors and public speculation.
You guys are absolutely right. Floyd Money Mayweather can do what he wants. I'm going to tell you what he's definitely doing, and that's robbing your bag.
You keep doing exhibition, stealing money, legalized bank robbery.
He tells you in your face, you a dumb for paying for it, and it's legalized bank robbery, and you go, wow, yeah, he can do what he wants. And there's people that's like, no, Floyd ain't talking about us. He's talking about everybody else, talking about the white man. Fool, he's talking about you too.
The recent FBI raid on Floyd Mayweather's mansion has reportedly been linked to a $42 million real estate fraud investigation. Mayweather announced that his company Vita Properties had purchased a portfolio of 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. However, New York City property records reportedly show that ownership of those buildings has not changed, which has raised questions about whether the deal was actually completed.
Floyd Money Mayweather has definitely earned his nickname, but his next offer would be the easiest bag he's ever grabbed. Boxing legend Oscar De La Hoya recently came out and challenged the undefeated Floyd. And while De La Hoya played a key stepping stone role in his rise to greatness, the chance to fight a long-retired rival wouldn't wake up many, especially not Mayweather, until you hear the Golden Boys offer $100 million just to fight him. We're not talking purse either. That money would be guaranteed. And if Floyd took it, the offer alone would be bigger than all but two of Mayweather's biggest purses. And all he has to do is fight the Golden Boy again. This is a man that's been retired for over a decade, and fighting Shaq, appearing on The Masked Dancer, and teasing a presidential run doesn't equal training. Hey, Earth to Floyd, this is the easiest bag you will ever grab. All you have to do is say yes. And to earn even more, all you have to do is win the easiest fight you've had since Conor McGregor. Take the money.
The situation became even more complicated when a representative from Vita Properties introduced someone claiming to be James McNair, who is known as a longtime associate of Mayweather, during questions about the deal. However, the person's voice reportedly sounded different from earlier recordings of McNair, which raised concerns about whether the individual was really who he claimed to be. These differences led to claims that the announced property purchase may have been overstated or presented inaccurately, possibly to strengthen Mayweather's business reputation or attract investors. The FBI's search of Mayweather's home reportedly focused on finding financial records and communications that could support allegations of misrepresentation or possible financial misconduct.
My book, but hey guys, you know, the feds, man, the feds got the man on $25 million in back taxes. And see, the thing is, you guys think that that man's money is up there like it is, but it's not, so to speak. See, Floyd over the years have had so many legal battles when it comes to this bread, you know, owing back taxes, you know, not paying off debts. And everybody knows that he buys all his vehicles from the same person, you know, that's crooked as hell, Josh Tobin, aka the Chopper. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody know the Chopper, man. Anybody get a car from him. But at the end of the day, man, you know, Floyd having some money problems. So now what I'm gonna dig into is, we're gonna dig into Josie Harris. Now, Josie Harris was Floyd's first baby mama. Josie Harris, man, was the mother of 3 of his kids.
The controversy surrounding Floyd Mayweather's claimed multi-million-dollar real estate deal comes from major differences between his public statements and the available property records. In February, Mayweather announced through his company Vita Properties that he had purchased 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan, and said the deal was completed without outside investors. However, an investigation by Business Insider reported that New York City property records showed no evidence that the properties had changed ownership, and the NYC Housing Partnership also said it had no knowledge of any planned sale involving Mayweather.
There's a flex happening with Floyd Mayweather that we were all cheering and congratulating him from, but we might need to put a pin in that as some evidence comes forward that things may not be how they seem. So a couple weeks back, I talked about it here on the show. Floyd Mayweather said he dropped $402 million on 62 Manhattan rental buildings. But Business Insider went and did the research. They did their Googles, and they said they couldn't find any receipts that this is true. There were no deed transfers, no public records, nothing. They made some phone calls to owners, and they could not find any information regarding this transaction. Floyd has gone on interviews and discussed it. You know, of course, 50 Cent dropped in with his troll thing and put the interview up and the information about it and said he bought them in his imagination. Same place he read all those Harry Potter books. Because 50 gone 50. My question is, does Floyd, was he swindled in some sort of business deal?
Before her tragic death, Harris accused Mayweather of defamation, emotional distress, and past misconduct with claims she was prepared to fight in court. Legal documents showed that she was seeking $20 million in damages over public statements made by Mayweather that she believed harmed her reputation and falsely portrayed her as a drug addict. The lawsuit was expected to become a major legal battle that could have revealed more about the private side of the boxing star's life. Although Harris passed away before the case reached a conclusion, the lawsuit remains one of the most controversial chapters in Mayweather's history. Mayweather Jr. served time in jail in 2012 after being convicted in a domestic violence case. He was sentenced to 90 days at the Clark County Detention Center in Las Vegas after pleading guilty to misdemeanor battery involving his former girlfriend Josie Harris during a 2010 incident that happened in front of their children. Mayweather started serving his sentence on June 1, 2012 and was released on August 3, 2012 after completing 2 months of the 3-month sentence. The punishment was part of a plea agreement that reduced more serious felony charges, which could have resulted in a much longer prison sentence.
Floyd has gone on interviews and discussed it. You know, of course, 50 Cent dropped in with his troll thing and put the interview up and the information about it and said he bought them in his imagination. Same place he read all those Harry Potter books. Because 50 gone 50. My question is, does Floyd, was he swindled in some sort of business deal?
Mayweather Jr. has openly spoken about his time in jail in 2012 and described it as one of the most difficult periods of his life. During an interview with Larry King, Mayweather said it was a very hard experience because he was locked in his cell for 23 hours a day without television, radio, or newspapers and spent most of the time alone with his thoughts. He served 2 months of a 90-day sentence at the Clark County Detention Center in Las Vegas after pleading guilty to misdemeanor battery involving his former girlfriend Josie Harris.
Hey, who said Floyd ain't still out here doing big deals? Money Mayweather just inked a massive $402 million real estate deal in New York City, buying up 60 apartment buildings from Black Spruce Management, the equivalent of 1,000 apartment units. Now, Floyd said the goal is to be able to provide affordable housing to families that need it. Most of the units are located in Upper Manhattan. And he said that when he was a kid, his dream was just to be able to own a home and that you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. Damn, Floyd just bought the block. I'm proud of Floyd. He's come a long way. This is a guy who was once seen burning money in a nightclub. He spent $17 million on a watch. Not to pocket watch him, but people looked at him for years like, yo, he wastes a lot of money. Does he ever give back? And now he's providing affordable housing? Damn, Money Mayweather's come a long way. This is a real good look. It shows evolution. It shows maturity. Not to mention, it's always great to see another person of color become a landlord in New York City.
His ex, Josie Harris, is suing him for $20 million for making false and humiliating accusations. Mayweather had an interview with Katie Couric just 2 weeks before his big fight against Manny Pacquiao. During the interview, he said that when he and Josie got into a physical fight, it was because she was high on drugs. The fight he was talking about happened back in December 2011. He actually went to jail for 90 days for domestic violence. Mayweather told Katie, "Did I kick, stomp, and beat someone? No, that didn't happen. Did I restrain a woman that was on drugs? Yes, I did. So if they say that's domestic violence, then you know what? I'm guilty. I'm guilty of restraining someone." Well, the timing couldn't be better for Josie. The big fight paid out $300 million to the two fighters. Pacquiao went home with 40%. Mayweather took home the 60%.
And I'm imposing a 6-month sentence in the Clark County Detention Center, 90 days of which will be served in custody, the remaining 90 days to be suspended. He will be given 3 days credit for time served. I will give him credit for the other 2 days for the case that is being dismissed as part of this negotiation.
Well, because it's too hard.
It
It's too hard. Aw, should have thought about that before you beat up your baby mama. But yes, Floyd has to be transferred to house arrest, claiming his stint in jail is causing him to be dehydrated and malnourished, he can't stay in shape, and it's destroying his boxing career. In other words,
guess what? You're incarcerated.
which is essentially what Judge Melissa Saragosa told him. Damn, she's kind of hot for a judge. Sustained. Anyway.
First off, the judge said you will remain in jail. As far as not drinking water and shriveling up.
She says Floyd's condition is, quote, self-induced as water is made available to Floyd 24 hours a day.
For anyone that's going to jail, toilet water is the freshest water.
Okay, good tip. Also, the judge says there's plenty of nutritious food and opportunity for exercise, so Floyd's just gonna have to man up.
How do you explain all that? How did that happen in your life?
Well, things happen. I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye, we wasn't seeing eye to eye. She was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown out of, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, in my children's life.
What do you think about the controversy surrounding Floyd Mayweather's reported $42 million real estate deal? Do you believe the allegations are supported by the available information, or do you think the story has been exaggerated by the media? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below.